All right, I'm done. I am so incredibly done. I am done. I'm done. That's it. I am so done with you guys. Not you guys. I'm talking you guys in general. The lights are dimmed. Things are going incredibly crazy in the gaming community. And welcome back, you guys. It's your huggable hipster here. God of War Ragnarok PC potentially hinted at. Google Stadia is shutting down, and Horizon Zero Dawn is reportedly getting a remaster. Welcome on in, get a drink, and let's discuss this. So you guys, have you ever felt more like there was just this big cluster that was hanging over your guys' head in the gaming industry, and you didn't know how to discuss it until you sat down and you thought, man, there's really no way to talk about this, huh? This is going to be cake in comparison to the other two that we're going to be talking about. Now, there were other articles that I wanted to discuss today, but it was basically fluff pieces, and I was like, you know what? Let's go into the main substance of what I want to discuss, which is Stadia shutting down and Horizon Zero Dawn, but we'll get into that in a moment. I'm going to make quick work of this. So just basically God of War might basically be on PC, and Ragnarok being on PC is going to blow all of the ponies out of the water. So it states here in the article that it seems that a PC version of God of War Ragnarok could be on the horizon if a new hint is any indication. At this point in time, Sony and developer Santa Monica Studio have only committed to releasing the God of War sequel on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 consoles when it arrives in the coming month. Much like the previous installment in the series, though it now seems like a PC iteration could be dropping at a time further down the road, which is exactly what they did with God of War 2018. I mean, I can't imagine how certain people must be seething over the fact that Sony is bringing more inclusivity platform-wise into its games, meaning that it's going to be shared amongst PC and Xbox. Because let's see, Game Pass is on Xbox, and oh yeah, what game was recently put onto Game Pass? Yeah. Of the fact that we have dedicated consoles for this kind of thing, because quite frankly there are some games that just run better on a console, but I am so incredibly happy that Sony has the balls to put a lot of their games on PC and now Game Pass, because sharing the love and a lot of Sony exclusives is what I like to call being in an inclusive industry. I love the fact that I get to play Death Stranding on my PC and on my PS5 if I want to. I love the fact that people who are Xbox exclusive primarily as their main console, they can now play Death Stranding as well. It's a beautiful thing. So let's get into the main meat of this thing besides Horizon, of where Google Stadia is shutting down. Gee, I wonder who saw that one coming. It states here that Google is refunding all Stadia purchases. Isn't that like thousands upon thousands of dollars right there? They're refunding purchases, software, hardware, and DLC. Members of Stadia team will be, in quote, carrying this work forward in other departments at Google. So it's a good thing that they're not getting fired, they're just being allocated to different places, which is nice. So it states here in the article that Google is shutting down Stadia, its cloud gaming service. The service will remain live for players until January 18th of 2023. Google will be refunding all Stadia hardware purchases through the Google Store, as well as all the games and add-on content purchased from Stadia Store. Google expects those refunds will be completed in mid-January, which is good. I mean, it's fast, it's fast work. It's really awesome that they're getting those refunds to people, but also that's a lot of money that they're sending back to people. That's a lot of that's a loss. They're taking a big hit with this. I want to see companies succeed. I want to see companies thrive. But with this, there were too many gaming services on the market right now. With Luna, you have Gamefly, you have so many others that are going on. I feel like Stadia was just a pebble drop in the water. It didn't make as much of an impact as they think that they made. And I say that because there were so many people that I spoke to on Twitter of where they never even saw a trailer before for Stadia. Never. They only ever heard of it through the grapevine. They never even saw a trailer, which I find fascinating. And lastly, in gaming news, probably the big topic of today, more so than Stadia, Horizon Zero Dawn reportedly being remade for PS5. Anybody who says that this game might not be worth $70, hear me out for a second, because I know that's what most of the comments are going to say. It's not worth the $70. Ariel, how could you be for a $70 remaster? Because technically it is just going to be a remaster. The main thing that I chalk it up to, and this is the kind of mental equation that I feel like has to go down right now, right? When I think about it, I think, okay, if they're putting in multiplayer, if they're putting in more accessibility options, if they're putting in different things that not only clean up the game a bit, but add a more immersive experience for the people who are playing it, absolutely it is worth $70. One of the things that is interesting, because I had this way of thinking before of why would they charge $70 for a remake? And then I had to bring myself back down to reality and say, Ariel, wake the hell up. Seriously. This was coming for a very long time. And the fact that it's happening now, it should have happened years ago. Because the fact of the matter is that these game prices, they were coming. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of expected games to increase in price, because I remember back in the day whenever Resident Evil 1 Remake came out, that was like $30, $40. Have the technology getting better, everything gets more expensive to use, you have more powerful, more intense, more immersive equipment that needs to be used whenever you're creating a game. So it's more expensive, and it's more, another word for expensive, pricey to utilize into the game. Think of the mocap, think of things that may need to be redone with the assets, just think of all the things that need to go in. Multiplayer, that's not just a switch you can flip in the development process. You have to go in, you have to do a lot of work. So I justify the price point because of the hard work that goes into it for development and the new things that they are adding into the game possibly. At this point, it's still rumors, it's still speculations, but hey, if those speculations become true, I have no problem potentially paying for that. Would I get another copy of Horizon Zero Dawn? I'd have to see how it works. I'd have to see reviews on it. I already have a copy for PC and I quite enjoy it. Actually, Horizon Zero Dawn is my favorite out of the two that came out. Because Horizon Forbidden West, I enjoyed it, but it dragged on a little bit too much for me. I felt like Horizon Zero Dawn was absolutely perfect as a game. It had everything I ever wanted from a game. It had the new IP. It had something fresh. It had an incredible story. It reminded me a little bit of Death Stranding as well, with how they did the story and the writing for the game. So I think it's a very powerful IP. I think it's a really powerful piece. Personally, like if I were to ever get it, not saying that I am, I don't mind that price point at all, if they are adding in what they say they are adding in. But you guys, that is it for me for this episode of The Casual Nerd. If you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. We are getting so close to 3,000 subscribers. I can taste it. I can feel it in the air. I can sense it. I make videos every day here on YouTube. And with that being said, stay casually nerdy. I will see you all in the next video. See ya.